Okay.
Oh, Sam, you're killing me.
I don't know when it did it, but I just noticed it. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to derail you guys.
It's okay. We'll just pan to my face for a while. If that
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I've got his has been going. I've checked the time.
His
I
has
know
been
it's
going?
been.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, because I just looked up, because I was looking up the time too.
Yeah.
Gives people something to watch.
Yeah.
Well, because I know he's also time blind. He has no idea what time it is.
I have
how
no idea
long
what time it
it's
is right
been.
now. How long?
I don't
45
know.
minutes?
2 hours we've been talking?
No.
2 hours.
It is 11:39, my friend.
Oh, yeah, I'm almost
Shit.
done. I'm almost done.
Okay. Well, help me wrap
Oh,
this
no,
up, I
don't
guess.
care.
I don't know.
I was
No, I have
do.
nowhere to be.
I do.
This
I'll
is-
go to bed.
Bro, you're gonna-
So,
we'll go till
I
3 more.
want to...
Okay.
We
what is your...
got no kids tonight. We're good.
As
We'll go down
far
at once.
as... What the fuck was I just going to say? Sorry. No, you're fine. Out of, like, say you had however many plants you have, how do you experience any problems with, like, mold or bud rot on any of them on finished product?
If I see... I've had bud rot.
Let me reset
you
it. I'm not talking lost a plant. I'm saying on like one super fucking fat cola, you notice some bud rot.
Right.
It. Like, is that just what do they call that? It's eventuality. It's gonna happen.
No, it's not going to always happen because look, what we always teach is all the mitigation techniques, so you keep your environment clean, you water regularly, you don't give it any stress to the plant, you feed it when it needs to feed. Like I said, if you have a healthy body, do you get sick? No. Do you get fungal diseases? Do you get like streptococcus or whatever? Do you get fungal and stuff?
Bronchitis
Yeah, right, but you always got that. Why? Because you probably gave yourself some kind of stress. You gave well, I mean, yes, you probably were you had a germ, you had the germ in their presence, which their germ is always present. Maybe it's more present from a dirtier environment, but it's always present. And then if you are a person who is maybe has a compromised immune system or doesn't have as strong of an immune system, you don't eat as healthy, you don't get enough vitamin D or whatever, then you are going to be more susceptible to getting that kind of disease. And that's why, old folk are just more susceptible to getting diseases.
It's ageism.
You had it when you were young. It was young. So plants are the same way. So like if you give them an environment that is clean, it's one part. That's one part.
How many people do you think can identify bud rot appropriately?
Considering that I still have questionable times with it, and I've gotten shown multiple from my school and from me personally seeing it show up, like I've had every time I'm like, I feel it's like a psychological thing. You've spent so much time and love and care on this plant that you're like, oh, that's smokable, and you're like, and then you have to look at it. The thing is, we have to like normalize looking at things under a microscope, and then as soon as you do it, the only procedure is to see is it anywhere else on the plant. If so, you need to take out that entire section plus 6 inches on either side. Everything. Mold is there if you can't see it. Even when you can see bud rot, that just means that's the places where it's the most highest.
Right.
That's where the infection is showing the most strain. Everything else around it, it's still there. It's a mold. It's like a fungus. It's a small bacterium that is spores. They can be super small. You can only see them under a microscope. So you need to take out a good a margin of error of 6 inches or so, 6 to 8 inches if you're feeling frisky. Like if it makes you feel that bad about it, and then you got to test your product. But like, you can save a plant, and there's also in the commercial world, we're gonna have to get used to this. I did it with I don't know how to say it. But we people do, for especially outdoors. You might hear they do a bud wash. You do a first dunk in a solution.
Like peroxide
so a peroxide solution, and then you do another dunk in clean RO water, and then you hang them to dry, and you give them good adequate ventilation and humidity and all that. And there's a whole science to the drying process of what VPTs you got to hit on certain days to get a timely. People think you should do a low and slow. there is a medium. If you do it too long,
I like to take about 7 to 10 days.
right. 10 to 12 days is good. 7 to 10 days is good.
I throw
Like,
it right in
you know,
right in.
right. As soon as it get that little snap, you're good. You know, but if you like you're what you're doing is you're encouraging the inner moisture to exit to the outside, because moisture follows a gradient pattern of from a high concentration to a low concentration. So you're pulling moisture out of the bud. And, you know, you have to do that over a slow enough period, but over a complete period, so that buds that are denser can have a chance to get the same amount that are buds that are smaller. And so you're giving it all. That's why we go until we hear the crack, because that's a general good rule of thumb, that everything has become homogenized.
When we were getting brickweed when we were little, do you remember that? Are you,
Oh yeah.
Are you old enough
Oh
to
yeah.
see brickweed?
Oh
Are you
yeah.
old
I
enough
was
to
from
see
New
brickweed?
Mexico. We all got was
That's all you
brickweed.
got was brickweed. Full of seeds.
It was
and
good shit.
Swag.
Good shit.
Swag. Was it
Yep.
called
Full
swag out
seeds.
there? Okay.
Full seeds. Full stems. I killed your lighter, babe.
You never saw
Do
mold.
you have a lighter? Sorry.
You never saw mold. I feel like if people were more educated when they're growing this plant,
It forces
back
you to become
then,
that way.
I mean, well, you know, you've smoked
You're taking
that
care of a
shit.
plant that is.
But I'm talking, you
depending
smoked
on
that
you.
shit though. Like when
Hmm?
we were little, like if you got like you don't know, when were you checking to see if there was bud rot when you were fucking 16,
I
you
didn't
know,
fucking know what
17?
that looked like.
How did I know what that looked like?
Exactly.
I just knew if I seen like identifiable like
I can tell you the people that you
hairy
were getting it from,
fucking
or who
shit that
grew
you
it,
pulled
they weren't
apart and
checking
it
either
looked
back
like
then.
cotton, I could tell that. I never got any weed like that though. I don't think I did. But who do I know? I mean, so many people, other people rolled it up for me.
Do you remember the first time you saw like a nugget and not like brickweed? I
was
do.
like, what's
I
that?
remember. Yeah, I did too. My brother used to sling it, and it was fucking super legacy. He's older than me. He's like almost fucking 50. He had some of it. I'm like, oh fuck, what's that? He's like, it's a kind bud. I was like, what? He's like, kind bud. I went in there and fucking opened up his brink safe with toenail clippers. I would get like pretty much a pen, and I would fucking hit it, knock the pin out. Toenail clipper. I was a thief. Sticky finger Steve. And I remember taking it. Oh, I had it. I almost didn't even want to smoke it. It was
Looked so pretty.
nice. It did. It was.
I feel like weed back then got so much higher. And maybe like tolerance over time, but I just feel like people say that because like they're like they were old smoking for years, and then they're like years you already build up that tolerance to the extent it's going to be. It's not going to get any
Never
higher than
gonna
that.
get Like so, you were talking earlier
Sorry.
about like the dabbing, like
Yeah.
and how you like to do dabs. Like when I take a dab, it's like,
Destroys you.
dude, I'm not like mad that I took it. I'm not upset I did it. You know, it's me. I wanted it at that time. But like,
Is it temped properly? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know.
You just
'Cause I
kinda
don't
feel
do
it
it
and you're
enough.
like,
I would just like how my brother would be doing it. You want one of these? Sure. Just go, just fucking suck her down and be done. You know.
The way I can
everyone
see
like
it-
rolling the glass on the top now. Like you guys do that. I don't. What is that? What's up with
It
that?
helps with airflow.
Why is the glass on the top?
Well, no, it's a marble ball.
So the marble
We put the
ball is
marble
a
ball
carb
last so it doesn't
cap.
get hot. It's sitting on there as a carb cap. So
But
it,
like, how's the air getting off the marbles in there? It's like
when every
there's
time you move
ball
the
valve.
every time you move the marble slightly, it lifts it up a little bit. It allows
bit in the
a
one
tiny
spot.
bit of airflow in there.
Science.
Yeah, science.
And so you can just spin it a little bit, and you know it's just I don't know. It just
So I can tell you, I
feels
think
cool,
the last
guess.
dab I took, Colorado just went legal, and it's heavy. It fucking goes down, and I always describe it as like it fucking fills your entire lung like immediately. It like with smoke, I feel like the smoke expands after you had like a regular fucking pipe.
Mm-hmm.
But a dab, it's just so heavy, it goes down there, then it expands, and it's just like coming up. I feel like I'm throwing up out of my lungs.
Here, you want to
Yeah.
try? Do you
No.
want? Do you want to try what a
Maybe I
proper
will.
temperature?
I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Can I try one of these?
I'll do it. Put me right to bed.
See, let me see.
It's not even, that's the only way that I can really take dabs. So that's why we'll use it for like.
If you want to get
Adventures.
in that bag right there, that's that. You said you needed the cartridge thing.
So
What? Fucking Kyle Farr. I got Kyle Farr here.
Get a whole bag.
Kyle Farr here. What's the other one's name? Fuck. Kevin Erb. I'm gonna get shot.
What happened?
I'm just talking
so
shit.
lost.
I'm talking.
What do you got back there, by the way? That sealed stainless steel.
There's nothing in it right now. It's everything that I had in here, but it's here.
Do you like those?
I do if I have one solid strain and
Mhm.
one solid variety that I'm putting in here. I used it right that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Good job.
But
Bravo.
I don't like using moisture packs at all, really.
Mhm.
I mean, I only
You shouldn't
put it-
have to.
Right, man. I only
you're
put them in
pure right.
here because everybody looks for them. Everybody fucking looks
know.
for them.
What's
And
the
it's
pack?
it's fine. It's dry.
The
That's
thing
why the
is-
things didn't turn blue.
The
It's
thing is,
fine.
it's cheating. It's cheating. That's all it
So-
is.
so-
It's like, oh, I didn't know how to create
And
the
I'm
right
too lazy
environment.
to take them out now.
well-
Because I would take them out and just put them right back in here and leave
I
it.
like them. The boosts are cool too. They do help moderate your humidity, especially if you're outside and you get like a lot of sunlight on them. They help, because they
So
will.
that's why I need to get them back in like a fucking enclosed fucking.
Because if you
container.
open it and show it off, and it's a humid day, maybe it'll get too much humidity.
It
They'll
was,
soak it up.
Yeah,
They'll
lot
soak
of
it
them
up.
were. I had to open
You
them
know?
up and let them fucking gas off.
Mm-hmm. Right. So what I was going to show you was this thing takes a dab in there, and I'll demonstrate one just because this is on the medium heat. You can preheat it a little bit until you see a little smoke coming out of the top.
So you just
And
hold
then-
the button.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a nice sound. That's a good microphone. I want to get high, so high. Cypress Sandler. That's what it was. It's like Adam Sandler. So I got to give it a second to chill.
No, you can hit it right again.
You just press and hold the button.
Just press and hold the button. You can go pretty long because it's not that harsh. And you probably clear it too. It likes
Oh
to
no, you gotta
keep
keep
a lid.
pressing the button. Like press and hold it.
Yeah, he's pressing it. I see the
No,
light.
I keep seeing it go off.
He's pressing it.
Now it is, yeah.
Alright.
Okay, there we go.
I probably got done.
No, you want
I didn't inhale.
Hey.
All right.
So it shouldn't be like this crazy dragon smoke thing.
Oh, it
I like to
was.
take
It's
dabs like
always
that,
been.
but like that's a sign of a hotter dab.
Yeah, no.
It just
also,
is.
it
You'll get a
is.
lot
It's
higher.
a blowtorch to a goddamn piece of whatever.
You can still do those. The thing is what you need to have.
Grease fire.
You need to have like some kind of way of temping it. They make these dab right tools. They're like $100 something bucks. It sits under there. It's a radiant temperature gauge that goes and like sits right underneath your banger and helps you reach and it'll turn a certain light or a buzz when your temperature hits the right, and you can just pick it up away and then go. And then you'll know every time so you don't burn your fuck out of your lungs. Because ask her how many times where I get too antsy or I'm like, I want my dab right now because I'm trying to, seek a calm down or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm a little antsy and I'm like, all right, it's good. And I take my dab and it's like, and I'm just like dying. And it's like, and then I'm just like, for the next 2 hours, I'm, it's okay, I'm not dead. And I'm like, that's so bad. And imagine if that was someone's first dab.
Do you make this yourself?
Mm-mm.
Not the machine. You buy all your stuff.
Yeah, that's I do actually have my own device. I didn't bring one.
Wait
I
a minute.
should've.
You made your own device?
No, I didn't make it, but I worked
Oh.
with a manufacturer that was already making it because I had the idea, and then before going through the process of trying to find a manufacturer to create my idea, which they do, you can reach out to any kind of manufacturer in China and say, I have an idea. You can draw it on a piece of notebook paper, napkin, and you say, I want you to make this. This is how it works. They will make it for you and not charge you making it, maybe a couple hundred, and then they'll say, just after that, I'm gonna make 100 of them, and you buy them, and you just buy them for like $8 or $10 or whatever a piece, and then so you have this new equipment that no one's ever made. Their manufacturers are crazy out there, and so
So you're Timu.
no.
You're Timu. Oh my god.
Better.
So I went to what was it in no, not Nikan. It was the one in MJ Unpacked in New York City, and they had a bunch of like showcases for different people, and one person had already had this pod vaporizer device that had one side that holds cannabis or like one cannabis variety and like a indica or sativa, and then the other one hold the other one, or a hybrid, and you could hit both of them, or you could switch, or he was like, one could be tobacco and one could be, and I'd already had the idea before seeing this. It's crazy, how ideas work. And I had the idea of I wanted to use a lot of plant medicines, like herbology type stuff of like mugwort, artemisia, damiana, like those smokable herbs that have always been paired with cannabis since like the Egyptians, like blue lotus, things like that. And you can combine them in their own way to form like a medicinal effect. So if I have veterans that are like suffering from sleep or impotence or PTSD or pain or anxiety or sleep or appetite, you can whip up an extract of these different herbs, and then create a vapable liquid that you could put into a cart, and then on one side have that, and then the other side have the cannabis, and then have them both go together so that you could have that synergistic effect that they were using for thousands of years. And like they make like mullein or like hops, they like help your throat, so you can, like, if you have a harsher strain, if you have a harsher cultivar or variety, then you can offset that a little bit. Or if one has a negative effect, you can counteract that with this plant medicine. And we're too far away to be able to do that legally, I think. And I was
just going to ask you, this is ignorance. Would adding something to the overall... Damn, I thought... I didn't know what happened.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It fucking blew my eardrum out.
My bad.
No, you're good. Would it lower it to the regulatory amount where you could legally sell both of them together?
Well, they're not regulated. Like those,
but I mean, would it drop the THC content overall of...
I feel like they would have to be separated. I feel like if you tried to mix them, they might label it as a smokable form, like in a smokable.
So I think you'd have to offer them separately. Right. And like, hey, over here we have our essential oil or tinctures of plants or whatever.
If it's not enough to test, is it enough to test?
They do it for everything, so I mean,
we already vaporize different herbs naturally for like all kinds of ailments.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if it was something that would, you're not, like you were sort of saying, prepackaged doses of all that mixed together, that you could, this is the Battles Budz brand or whatever. I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be. I'm just, you dump it in.
No, I would find some organic farmer that I would support.
Is it legal to sell that? Because if they were to separate the cannabis from it, first off, fuck off. Fuck you for doing it.
Right.
But, could they test it and it even return anything off a single dose? But if they buy 15 of them, maybe it would.
Well, already we have creators in the cannabis space that make herb joints or blunts that are mixtures with different of those herbs that I named.
Yeah.
There's already there.
And it's legal.
It's legal. Completely fine. Like, you can go to an apothecary anywhere you want and just, say, I want all those herbs, and then you can go home and smoke them. That's what I did in the Army. I forgot to mention. Before I started, dabbling with CBD and stuff again, I went to my nearest Italian apothecary, and I said, hey, I have anxiety and I can't focus and stress, the things. I'm trying to find a way that I like to smoke. I smoke cigarettes. That's what I use for my stress. I don't smoke anymore. But
say, damn, you're holding it out. I'm surprised he's holding it out. You smoke cigarettes?
She quit as well too. We smoke vapes now occasionally.
That's fine. Yeah.
But yeah,
I used to smoke. I smoked for a really long time, and it was really hard to quit.
I smoked for 2
I took
years.
Chantix and almost fucking offed myself. I didn't almost
so
off myself,
the only
but
time
I was
I took
real
that,
depressed for a while.
I was only forced to take Chantix once, and that's when I was wearing it.
That was bad. That's bad stuff.
It's nicotine gum.
It fucking worked, but it's bad stuff.
So it worked, but it didn't, because as soon as I got out,
to worry about.
Well, as soon as I got out, I wanted to smoke a cigarette, so it didn't matter. Because you're not allowed to have outside breaks.
Did you smoke buds still? at that
No.
time? See,
Well,
that's
so,
something that saved me and I
I
think got me
was-
through it. Is I was able to supplement it out with that bud.
And she smokes like 14 grams a day.
God damn.
Now, okay, so you see what had happened was I went through
I helped get her
a
off
lot
cigarettes.
of. Okay, well that's
Fucking
the
hey,
thing.
you're not smoking cigarettes.
Well, I used to take an antipsychotic.
But you're
for
not taking,
my
you're not
bipolar.
smoking cigarettes anymore. Still.
Right, but I'm saying though is that like
Two-
it was a big
twofold.
transition. Yeah, it was a big. That there's been a lot of big changes in my life, which I'm grateful for, but it was a little rough.
Yeah, hey.
But yeah, I really was dabbling in the idea of having a cartridge or vape because I wanted people were in the fad of vaping, and then so I'd like to vape. Like it would like to like if you have a plant based vape, it would taste horrible. Any herbologist will tell you it'd probably taste gross, and so you would need to offset that with other things. Obviously, you can mix a little peppermint and lavender, or, whatever like else is like that would moderate taste. But like those do still have medicinal effects. But if you would push it with cannabis, people would be more likely to have that plant-based medicine and just take it. You can't overdose on it. You'd be able to like, this is good for your this, and you could buy these little packs and mix and match them or whatever strain, it's cultivars, that you like, that works for you. We know garlic cookies, which is one of our joints over here.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there was actual cookies named garlic cookies because they had garlic in them.
It's typically also called GMO, but it goes by garlic cookies for me. This is
Yeah,
what I
two of
grew
the
and-
joints have already gone around.
Oh, it is? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
This
she's just, she's like my little test dummy, how much she smokes. She was smoking so much, and then she had just had her gallbladder removed. She was in a lot of pain. They're giving her like lots of, pain meds, and she doesn't really want to take them, but she's in a lot of pain, so she's taking
Heavy
some of them.
pain meds. It
And
was
she's
a
still
bit sweet.
smoking to supplement that pain.
Yeah.
And, I finished curing my, my garlic cookies, and, I let her have some of that, and she was like, dude, it's crazy, because, like...
right up.
No, it did not. But
It definitely helped them. Made
It
it
definitely,
a
she
little
had to
bit
smoke
more
less.
manageable.
She didn't have to smoke as much, and she wasn't even taking her the pain meds as much. Like she was going
Right, I would
longer between
only take
doses,
them
like
at
once a
night.
day,
Fuck you up, man.
at night. Yeah, before
yeah.
you go to
Like the
sleep.
hard pain meds will fuck you up.
They were hot.
They make her
was
feel
like-
loopy all day.
Yeah.
Or they make me so loopy. I literally slept one whole day. Like I went with him on deliveries.
That's what my wife says.
On
She's
the
like,
weekend,
she
and I
can't even
was-
take muscle relaxers. She's like, this shit just knocks me the fuck out.
It's hard.
And I've always had a high tolerance for medicine. Like, I had migraines when I was younger. My grandma would just give me her Tylenol 10s.
I was a bad kid and I just
You
did
know?
a lot of drugs.
Yeah, I mean, I did that too. I mean,
I did that too.
I did a
Steve.
lot of drugs. Like I did a lot of like
of them?
morphine,
Oh.
morphine pills, school buses.
What are school buses?
Oh god.
What was the
I think I like Supermans and stuff when people
what's
talk
the fucking
about
bars,
Xanny bars.
Danny bars?
Yeah.
The way terminology has changed over the years.
I haven't touched them in years, but I don't like pharmaceuticals at all. But like, that was the thing back. I had had a high tolerance, so when kids were taking one of them, getting fucked up, I've always been able to like pop a ton of them and be like, fine.
Used to do some questionable shit.
Yeah, it's made me do more than a lot of people would do, and I'm like I used to be addicted to spice. I was on the news for this. I used to be.
I was on the news. I'm published.
No, I've been on the news like 4 or 5 times. Like, if you look me up wherever, I'm not trying to be. No, it's just like I've had it. Like I was literally just out on. I was just out in the public. I was on 420. We decided to do a pop-up event in Syracuse, and just show our wares and do some advocacy and destigmatization.
Yeah, for sure.
And the news came out and was like, "Hey, can we interview you?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." And so they're like, "So we had recently in Rome an epidemic of spice, and it was, I guess, laced or whatever, and it was messing up some people and giving them like, I don't know, like really messed up things, like I don't know, brain aneurysms, and they were killing them or
Is that
something.
like they
Kill like
they
3 or 4 people.
eat people too? Or is
Yeah,
that
something like that. It
spice
was
and bath
crazy.
salts are like the same thing.
Yeah, it was something like that.
That's nuts.
And so, and I said, okay, well, I have an experience whenever, when I was in the military, I ended up getting a hold of this vape, through, the grapevine, and it was you'd put it in your, big mod vapes, and you would blow clouds of it, and they were like, oh, it's just this type of nicotine, or it's this new thing that whatever, like, it makes you feel a little high. It's kind of like weed, but it's not weed. It's not going to pop up on anything, so it's fine. You can do it. And we were like, okay. And then you noticed that it slowly was addicting. Like, and then so I was like, okay, well, I need to order it online instead of just getting it from my friend or whatever.
Right.
So I found what it was online, but it was just, they marketed it as like something that wasn't like that bad. It was like, okay, they called it, I forgot what they even called it, but they called it some variant of something that didn't sound too bad. And you're like, okay, maybe that just has like these properties we didn't know about, and gets you fucked up a little bit. And it's something that the government really hasn't regulated or whatever. And so I bought it, and like, you'd realize that it was extremely concentrated. And so I would dilute it with nicotine vape juice, and it would, become less potent. And it was like, it helped your, all the things that, cannabis does. But it was like, it made you a zombie. It was like a super potent version of it. And to the point where, like, I was, like, having no REM sleep. I was passing out, like, and nodding off, just drooling, and, like, had no memory for, like, 6 months of things that I watched on TV, conversations I'd had. And I finally, like, noticed the trend of it. It's hard to notice that thing until you're, like, in it for a while. And you're like, wow, this is what it's been. And this is not how it's always been. And so I had to wean myself off of it, because that's how I knew it was addictive. Because when you stopped it, I got body aches, I got sick, I got rejection. And I did more research, and I hit the people up who made it. They had a website, and I hit them up and I said, hey, I'm taking this, I don't really care what it is, I'm not gonna hit you up with anything, I just want to know between me and you, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's synthetic cannabinoids. And I'm like, what are synthetic cannabinoids? And I'm like, do a little research, that's spice. What they did back in the day, they took those really nice smokable herbs that I talked about, like mullein, damiana, things like that, and they would spray this chemical onto the herbs, and they would package up as potpourri, and they'd sell you a spice. And then you would smoke it and get really high. And some people were having, like, seizures and all kinds of crazy shit. Well, here
K2 incense?
K2 incense, all that stuff, yeah. That's Kush, K2, all that, yeah. Well, they now, I guess, they meaning the Chinese, it's where it comes from, is they synthesize different chemicals like JH144, or sorry, JH114 or UR144, these different chemical compounds that are synthetic cannabinoids, that each time they get banned by the U.S. government, and they change the formulation a little bit, and they've now been able to make them into a vapable liquid at its premium concentration, and then sell it to us, and from different people across, to put it in our little vape things to get us all fucked up on something that we don't really know too much about.
Yeah, you don't even really know what's in it.
I know.
Period.
It fucks you up.
The label's there.
So I'm saying that's why I say my cannabinoid system is a lot different. So other people I knew when I was back in like 16, they would smoke K2 with me. First time, I'm like, here, yeah, try some. I smoke it all the time, And then they would try some, they'd have a seizure. And so, like,
it's normal. They'd have a seizure.
and I would be like, okay, well, hold them down, make sure they don't hurt themselves, and then like, I'd be like,
in their mouth.
No, you don't do any of that. You just let them go.
No.
They teach that now. That you used to like put them a spoon and hold their tongue so they don't swallow it. No, you don't do that. You just hold them down, make sure they don't hit their head, or hit themselves on anything and hurt themselves. Don't put anything near it, because they'll break their teeth trying to bite it, and they'll choke on their teeth. And so that's what they teach now. But yeah, I didn't know all that there. I just kept them there, and they'd stop after a couple minutes. They'd come back to it, and they'd be like, "What the fuck happened?" And I'd be like, "Dude, you seized?" And they'd be like, "Oh." I was like, "Yeah, I don't do that anymore." And then I'd smoke the same stuff like a stupid teenager, and because it didn't do that to me, it just made me mildly high, like kind of cannabis would, but a little different. And so that's why I think my cannabinoid system, my endocannabinoid system, is a little bit different than other people's. And depending on some people, they're really not tolerant of it, and they have extreme reactions. Their bodies don't like it. But yeah, I was addicted to it for a while. I had to wean myself off. I had to use kratom or kratom.
I took a lot of kratom one time.
Yeah.
It was a bad day.
Yeah, dude, you have to moderate it, because it builds a tolerance in your body. I was ended up taking like 14 grams of it a day.
I used to mix it in a little
Orange
Minute Maid
juice.
orange juice. I dumped way too much in that fucking
orange juice.
It was like chalky.
Chocolate milk.
I never did the chocolate. I never got that far, dude. I swear, I've maybe 3 days. Day one, it was the worst day I've ever fucking had. I'm out. I'm at work. I'm just sitting there. Everyone's doing it. I'm just like, oh, give me one.
Right.
Done. Sitting there like an hour later. I'm like, gotta go home. Like, wow, I'm like, fucking bad day.
There's different
I
strains you
drove
can,
fucking
and
home,
I don't know what to
woke
call
up
it. I
like
guess you would
2
call
days later. Tried it again, and I pussyfooted it the rest of the way and didn't feel a damn thing the next time.
Yeah,
But I
because
was doing it
there's
to
a
get-
tolerance
I was
again.
doing it to get fucked up.
Right,
too. That's
get
the
high.
thing,
Yeah. That's what I mainly
you
did
were
it too.
doing it
That's,
to wean off of something.
well,
So
I
it's a little
had had
different.
experience with it in New York City one time on like New Year's. I ended up getting one of those little K shots at the corner store smoke shop
Didn't know
thing.
that was a thing.
Took one of those things. It's just a straight concentrated little shot, like a 5-hour energy. You shoot that thing, and then it just makes you feel like crazy loopy, like you're like drunk.
Yeah.
And then I got on a subway. I threw up. Like it was kind of like not the greatest
Remember that
experience.
stuff you used to
but
dip
I was like,
like
oh,
cigarettes in and then just inhale the cigarette without lighting it? Jungle juice is what we used to call
well,
it. It
that's
was like
I
a
know that
clear
as the
liquid with-
embalming fluid.
Oh, well, it's
Yeah,
stuff did
which
the
is,
trick. It was like a clear liquid with like a white powder that wouldn't dissolve in the bottom of it, and you dip your cigarette. It wasn't cocaine, but
No,
That's
You dip
maybe
it in
that's
and
because
just
it could be
dangerous.
PCP as well. That's crazy.
it might have been, dude.
No, because I
oh,
know some people that
You
just
know
do
what?
that.
It
Either
fucking
embalming
might have been,
fluid or PCP or what was it?
Crack is the only thing I haven't done now.
I have not done that at all because I've never done
PCP.
heroin.
Is
or
PCP
anything.
angel dust?
I don't know what angel dust is really. To
I
be
feel
honest.
like I saw it in the movie Friday. And
Smoke this shit.
I think that's what it was, and he's like, "It's
Or the training day?
It's angel dust, homie."
Oh, training day. It's training
Is
day,
that what it
right?
was?
Is it fucking Denzel Washington?
No,
He's like, "Smoke the
it was
pipe."
fucking Chris Tucker and Friday. Might have been Friday after next.
Yeah. I vaguely.
PCP's the only one. Haven't
Yeah.
done.
No.
I mean, crack.
Crack.
Crack. I don't. Crack kills.
No, I was gonna try that stuff. I mean, I don't think I have a addicting personality because, like, I quit cold turkey smoking cigarettes after 10 years of smoking.
I smoked cigarettes for goddamn when I stopped smoking cigarettes.
But I had weed, so I guess it doesn't count. I guess it's cold turkey.
You're not answering. You're gonna look it up.
I heard pitter patters.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
People
Oh.
or dog.
I don't know.
Might be
probably
a
I hear it
dog.
right now. Kind of.
I'm just used to it for the kids, so I just listen to it. I was like, what is
That might be
that?
my daughter.
That's how I usually know my daughter is done going to the bathroom, and I haven't heard her say, "Mommy, I'm done."
Well, I'm actually gonna wrap it up anyway.
Let's do it.
So
Do it up.
I'm gonna post this, and this is me being humble because I feel like I learned a lot of stuff. Probably watching it
We
back,
stayed
I'm gonna
pretty
be like,
surface
wow, you
level.
look like a fucking dumbass here.
No. And I don't mean this to be sound condescending, but we barely scratched the surface,
No,
to be honest.
absolutely. You know,
And
and-
it's, you
'cause
know,
like I said,
mile deep on
just
everything.
I'm just learning a lot of this stuff now, and I've been just flying by the seat of my pants, like reading Amazon reviews for fucking 20 years. So, you know, I like I said, I had researched terpenes a little bit. You know, I don't know the fucking names of them, but like if you say it, I know there's a P one, I know there's a C one, a couple C ones, you know, like things like that. But what I want to leave you on is I think that there is a mark, because I'm not going to post this for a little while. It's not going to be like a year or nothing, but it might be like a few weeks.
Right.
But there's going to be a fucking market for people who are looking for custom terpene profiles. Like you were saying how there's the doctor that goes around and says, like, this is what you should have. Like, maybe you should look for this. Not necessarily pushing the cure.
They kind of will because terpenes do have medicinal effects.
But they do. But
They do.
I'm just saying they're pushing that specific brand. When you could potentially, and I've even thought about doing it, I just don't know enough yet to actually do it, is I don't give a fucking what brand
I
it's
want to
from.
design each cultivar
Here
to be a
are-
specific
yes,
element.
I can take this one or this one and put it together because it's going to be what you want. It's not a Curaleaf or a fucking whatever the hell, I don't know brands. I haven't bought weed from a place in a long time. But I
And
feel like
different
there's going to be a
There's
lot
drinks,
of people.
tinctures,
I mean,
topicals, and
Ideally, we would end up, because education is a big part of the
Right.
overall scheme here. So ideally, we would end up having probably a terpene chart that lists the terpenes, what each terpene is good for. And then, of course, inside of the shop itself, saying that, I mean, of course, we could do it in many different ways, but then having every individual cultivar listed with their terpenes, and
Right.
then you could even have a pamphlet maybe to take home or something. But
like I already know who I'd bring in to do. Like there's already the Cannabis Workforce Initiative. They've
Right.
offered to work with me when I do get go into want to do workshops. They do a terpene class anyways, where they bring in a chart and they talk about the endocannabinoid system and the different like
The
your
different
CB1
the
receptor, your
benefits and
CB2
potential
receptor. Your the different the different effects of each and what they're good for.
I think that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's... And this is the last question I'll ask.
No, go for
Do
it.
you think that there's ever going to be a time when a doctor will actually say,
Prescribe it?
these are the terpenes that I think that you should, or this is the type of plant profile
Mhm.
I think you should go and seek if that's the medicine you want to take. And
I'm sure
that
it exists
they can
now,
bring a
but-
fucking prescription pad. They don't necessarily need the prescription
Mhm.
pad, but they could bring the fucking Dr. John Jacobs fucking hand
Dispensary.
to you
Mhm.
and say, this is what my doctor says I need. And
Yeah.
you could be like, oh, okay, I don't have something that fits this perfectly, but I could make this for you.
Right.
Here's what I could give you for now, but
Well, you can already do that.
in
that
a
if
year,
you,
I can have you something that you can have. And call
Oh, for
your own.
less than that, you can buy isolates. You can buy isolates and
culture?
terpenes themselves,
Okay.
and so you can buy THCA isolate, CBD isolate, CBG isolate.
Well, liquid. Liquid.
Or you can get
Huh.
distillates. You can get powders. You can get you can make them into tinctures even if
Nobody
you
knows
mean-
this shit, dude.
really.
Either on a
Nobody knows
quicker...
that.
Oh,
I
God,
don't-
no. Yeah,
nobody knows
nobody
that,
knows
man.
that.
You could take them and would you have like how they get a THCA diamond, right?
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
THCA
Right.
diamond. It's a 99.7% diamond THC. Nothing else in there. Once you isolate something like that, then that's only what you're getting. That's why you would want it to be pure. So you could take a tad bit of that and a tad bit of CBD one, a tad bit of CBG, and you can make that profile. And then you could buy terpenes, organic terpenes that you can add a little bit of limonene, a little bit, or they already make terpenes that are already made off the terpene profiles of plants that we like. Like you can buy a green crack terpene mix that has all the terpenes mixed together. Well, sorry, they took the green crack plant that they grew, then they put it through a alcohol distillation process, and they caught back all the terpenes individually from different boiling rates. And once they got all those back, then they combined them all together to make a full spectrum profile of that green crack cultivar.
And then they do what with it?
And then they sell that to somebody, because I can take that
You
terpenes.
smoke it.
No, I take that terpenes and I add it to a
Vaporizer?
THC distillate.
Oh.
And I can make I put a couple drops or a couple milliliters and make it into a vape. You can make a vape. You can make it vape any variety you want. You just want to stay
Is
away
that-
from synthetic terpenes because they make
Is that
those.
cheaper?
Synthetic terpenes?
No. Cheaper to do that process than it is to grow it out, extract it, make your own.
Very much cheaper, to be honest, because you can buy a company in I think they're in Massachusetts called Mass Terpenes. They have organic farms. All they do is they cultivate 4 terpenes
They'll
profiles.
send you jars of terpenes.
They'll send you big jars of terpenes, big fully tested, everything certified jars
Like
of
the
terpenes.
internet.
Straight over the internet, and it's not regulated.
No, I'm saying
it's not
that's
regulated.
like the internet.
Yeah.
Like, we need to get into that. Like, how do we get into that?
You can do it anytime. That's I thought this was
So they're
Kids are doing
everywhere,
this-
right?
kids are
So
doing
they're
this in
everywhere?
college in their
Terpenes are all
dorms.
over the place, right?
kids are in their college doing this in dorms.
Just making terpenes.
18 years old, fucking buying chemical from this over here and buying THC distillate from California and mixing it up and they're on a hot plate with a magnetic stir, sucking it up and squirting it into a cartridge,
sort of-
capping it, and then packaging it and smoking
Doesn't
it.
necessarily get you high, though.
Everything. It's exactly what you get in the dispensary. It's the exact same thing. The exact same thing. It's not a hard
The
process.
exact same thing he just explained.
I make
is inside of
vapes.
this
I make vapes for my own
disposable.
personal.
Okay.
So you could just buy it off the internet, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the THC is THCA that you would get from California or whoever provided it is of questionable legality, I'd guess, depending on your views of the hemp
Source.
law, the 2000 hemp bill, because it
So
doesn't
for a
cover
second
THCA.
there, my
You'd have to decarb it,
ignorance-
and then once you decarbed it, you'd have THC, and then you would be able to combine it with terpenes. Not only that, you could leave it as THCA and put it in their vaporizer. Their vaporizer would vaporize it and convert it instantly into THCV, which would make it the bioavailable form of THC, which would get you high.
I thought you were going to say for a second that all you need to do is combine a lot of terpenes and you get high.
Well, no,
why
terpenes
I
do
was
have
like,
an
what the-
effect.
what the
That's why you
fuck?
need them. They're more than just for taste.
It's just for it's
They're for taste and effect. That's why a
So-
different cultivar has a
But I
different
mean,
effect.
to
The only
answer
thing
your
different is the
question,
amount
though.
of the different types of cannabinoids. But when you get a distillate, you have to get it's better to get a full spectrum distillate, because if you're getting a THC distillate, you're only getting one cannabinoid. And our endocannabinoid system works off of all the cannabinoids, the hundreds of them. Some of them we don't even know exist yet. Methuselah spent his entire life searching, and studying cannabis. I forget his name, Methuselah,
Mazuka.
He's the Israeli scientist. He's called the godfather of the THC molecule compound. He discovered it like in the 70s, 80s, something like that. And he has
What
spent
did they
his.
think it was before then? You know,
They didn't know what it was.
they just got you high.
Yeah, they're like, this thing gets you high.
It's the devil.
There's something in it, and they probably just assumed it was alkaloids. That's what most things are, is alkaloids.
Yeah, those are my dogs. Those are kids.
Sound like thunder.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's.
But I mean, to answer your question though, at one point, I feel like doctors will be able to do that. I feel
Yeah,
like they could
yeah.
fast track it though, easily, because right now they already have the barcode system. Basically, they got to do it into the system in order to track their plants. They could easily just make it so that way the doctors could then have a barcode system, and they could change the barcode system so that way it reflected however they do it. So that way the terpene profile was listed within that barcode, have them have the same system. You go to a dispensary, because eventually we all know Big Megacorp's coming. They'll have a way to connect them. They scan the barcode that your doctor gives you, and they're like, oh yeah, this matches in our system, and it just pops up whatever is recommended by your doctor. It doesn't mean you have to get it.
Right. It would probably just
But
be. They would have
it
to be
would- it could be a
profiles. They'd
little
have to be
like,
profile ratios. Like anything, if you have
Right.
it have you want to have a higher or lower cannabinoid to THC ratio,
Sounds like
CBD
grandpa.
to.
Is that not?
But I feel
Yeah.
like it could
Yeah,
easily
that's
be
how-
done eventually.
It looks like I like him.
But I feel like doctors specifically probably won't be able to do it until they get the education for it, and I feel like that won't happen until they finally classify it as a crop. Because then
It's
it'll be
classified as a crop by
more...
the USDA actually right now.
Well, now.
We just recently, like this year, we've actually fought for that to be classified, and they're still doing it. Like
I had heard that
Jeanette
just
was doing it a
Still,
lot.
yeah, it's still in the
House
works, though.
Republicans or Senate Republicans.
didn't they classify it as a plant, or is
Just
it? Is
No,
it
they just
It's a crop.
descheduled it back
they
to what it was.
descheduled it.
But no,
They
they.
didn't
Well, no,
change
no,
There was
no.
like a
Crop.
Republicans
this is from
are
the
fight-
USDA. This
Oh.
is from the USDA. It's nothing we would you'd hear about unless you were really a
Oh.
farmer.
Oh.
Because they would. What was
I don't
troubling
know,
was
did
like
they?
you couldn't have specific insurance for crop protection, or the government would pay you back money based on if your crop got ruined by some kind of. Even if your own negligence, like you got mold,
Right.
they would give you a percentage back as the government, because they want you to keep doing your thing.
Right.
And so, like every other crop in the America we have gets that is afforded that right, or that kind of a system
Insurance, yeah.
and insurance, and that's provided through the government, the USDA, and we weren't able to get that through cannabis because they wasn't classified as a crop. But I think recently it was classified as
That's
a
a
crop.
federal agency.
Yeah, USDA. United States Department of Agriculture.
I don't
And
really
actually,
like to talk
we-
politics,
even-
but I don't know.
Yeah,
if
it was in
we'll ever
Even
have-
Morrisville.
2023 apparently, but
Yeah.
they were saying that it was renaming a trade advisory committee to prominently feature hemp among a select group of specialty crops.
Yeah, specialty
Specialty
crops.
Right.
And so we actually had a funded study by the USDA to my school to study feral varieties of CBD cultivar cannabis plants. And I think we were trying to find. I might get this wrong, so don't hate me, Kelly. She ever sees this. I think we were looking for what was the best like cultivar for an outdoor northeastern grow that was, not susceptible to mold, resistant to the cold, and things like that
What'd
we
you come up
experienced. We were looking at Iowa feral and New York feral, and then we did, I don't know, a couple other cultivars. I don't remember them all, and it was other grades too. Like, oops, sorry. I didn't even finish the program. I got into like year 2.5 maybe,
Mhm.
and then I took a break so I can pursue the license and stuff. But Yeah, so I missed a lot of some of those kids in there in that class were there before me, and so since they were there whenever they started, they had these special studies that were they already got picked for or advocated to get on, and so they were picked as that research study. So they got to do they got to put their names on like research papers that were going to be referenced back for probably years as the first of its kind, and they got to do that at 18, 19 years old, or these people who maybe the ones who were like 21 who were they were seniors and they were getting ready to graduate. This is something that they were culminating to. So obviously there was going to be something later for me, but I got to experience like helping out and like taking notes on the plants and looking at different things. We got to look at bud rot, we had to cut some off, we had to do all kinds of things.
Nice.
So I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I don't know. I keep on probably making us talk longer.
No,
and
because
trying
you
to get
keep
off.
dropping things that I like to talk about.
Oh yeah, we could talk all day. Like literally,
gotta
we
turn
should
me
make
off.
this like a day thing one day.
Yeah,
because
no, I'd do this
You guys,
again.
you could think of probably any question under the sun, and if he doesn't know, he'll find out.
Yeah, I'd do it again.
I'm a research-oriented person.
Very much.
And
so.
I like
I
to
could
teach
be
people. And he
mobile
likes
too
to.
if you guys didn't want to drive. I mean, I could drive. Like I feel like I like you.
I know.
like you
I
guys.
like your setup. I mean, I don't think I have
No,
anything
listen,
of this
if
kind of
you-
quality,
shit,
man.
I mean, you can always come and visit. You can see our chickens and our ducks.
I mean, are you
And two
eating them?
doggos.
Are you eating them?
Well, we're
guys
raising a
eat
turkey to
beef?
eat,
You
but
eat beef?
So we
no,
eat,
no beef yet.
Well,
You,
so
you don't eat beef, or you
No.
just don't have.
No,
beef?
I don't have any beef.
But
But
you
like
eat
I
beef.
eat beef, yeah.
I'm
a carnivore,
Have
to
to
be
I
honest.
got
only
more
eat.
than one gift for you. Then.
Ooh.
I have to only eat really good beef because I
Eat
don't.
deer?
Oh God!
I
'cause
do eat
don't
deer.
have
I
a
have some too
gallbladder.
as well. If you'd like some of that. But no,
You killed my lighter. That's right.
we'll burn this one. But I'm gonna cut this off so we can take these headphones off.
Cool.
Yeah, I have to
sweating
find
it
out.
I do appreciate you for coming, man. It's
Of course.
both
Thank you
of
for having
you.
me,
That's
man.
awesome. It's you came down from Watertown. That's not a
I
fucking.
like driving a little bit. I
What,
like
like
driving a
2.5
lot.
hours?
We
2
drive
hours
a
straight, I
lot.
think.
Oh Jesus, it's way too long.
That's
It's way
not
too long.
bad.
We almost had a tornado today, so it's been a great day. I feel like I learned a lot. I honestly I don't think you did, but I don't care because I learned a
No,
lot.
and
I
I've learned.
enjoyed my
I've
time,
learned.
and I think I made you talk and have a good time. So
I like to, dude. You let me do the thing I like to do the most. I want to talk, and
I want to listen.
I would love to have a podcast. I want to have my own, but I don't have
Just get on
the
Amazon,
initiative to like get all this set up and have an identified space
It's
and
the
then create
initiative.
content.
Dude,
But it's easy
This
to
is
do
what
whenever
it's
I don't have to do
cell
anything. I just have to show up and be present.
I've been text messageless for 3
It's the creating content part. I have to like, bro. It takes so much. For you to just ask me questions, I can go off all day. But like to ask me stuff because you want to learn. So I need, like I said, I need a guiding thing. Otherwise, I don't know where to start. Like I have like the blindness to what people know or don't know because after I've learned it, I feel like other people know it. I don't know. It's
Well, if it gets your rocks off, you don't like again. You don't. I can have Zoom. I have like some fucking like Illuminati Zoom, where I could do like 1 billion people at one time. So you could just have the fucking camera up to your face if you wanted to talk for a long time.
yeah.
So what's this?
This is the
Was
tornado.
this the tornado? Ooh.
This is here right now.
No, right here right now.
Is this here right now?
No.
Is our
Oh
car
my
still
God,
outside?
we're in the basement. No. Steve's got kids.
We're off to see the wizard.
Whoa, yeah, that's crazy. No, that was Buffalo. Like, I was on a work call, and someone just messaged out of the
wonder
blue.
if
Doesn't
John
say a word
did.
ever, this guy. He's like, Buffalo just got hit with a tornado. I was like, Jesus, it's the end of the world. This guy said something. Yeah, I looked at it. It was bigger in some of the pictures people were
Wow.
showing. Like, it was
Yeah, I had
fucking
people who-
huge. There was multiples, yeah, for sure. Look
Yeah,
at
be
that
like,
thing.
be
That's
safe, guys. You know.
I mean, that's no, like, Oklahoma fucking tornado, but... They didn't even classify it. It's probably not like an F9. Yeah, a width of 150. It's pretty fucking big. It's a
Yeah.
fucking football field. Football field and a half. Anywho, thank you very much for driving here.
Thank you for
I
having
can't
us.
wait to see what you guys do. I'm going to have you on probably before you get this.
Dude,
Not
have me
saying
on
it's
as
gonna
many
take
times
you
you
a
want.
long
not
time.
to push myself out there. I just like doing this. This is
Well,
this gives me a platform.
So listen,
something I'd love
if
to
you
share.
wanted, so within, I don't know if I'd be able to accommodate the whole group, so I'm not gonna see. You could do Zoom for this one. I'm doing a cannabis home grow championship recap with a lot of the organizers as well, and
Yeah.
it would be
like a closer look and
yeah,
look
it
and
would
stuff.
be nice if you guys, like you two, wanted to be on with the Zoom, because that's where they all will be. I'll only have the Justin guy here with me, the Dankadelics man.
Oh.
but being on a Zoom with us and like there might be questions that you guys want to ask them. I didn't see you there, but I saw you there, so there might be questions. You were there.
Yeah.
There might be questions that you have,
always there.
that you could ask them that they're not going to get.
I gotta
What'd you just
pick up
look at that for?
my reviews Friday because I
What'd you do that
entered
for?
and stuff. So
You were
He
there.
said, I even remember her.
Dude, I'm sorry. I was fucked up. I was really fucked up that day. I was high as hell.
it's because I was so cool.
He left his soda, and I like in his.
I had to text me.
He left
Everything.
everything.
And my
I'm
tickets.
around. I'm like, I know I'm gonna be able to see him. Where is he?
I still didn't even win. I bought so many tickets. I thought I was like, whatever, $20, $10.
There's a guy that was standing there the whole time. He didn't even come up. Remember, like he won. You check his tickets. I'm like, no, he would have came over. I just like yelled it. He won. Yeah, no, I'd love to have you on that as well. I don't think that any of them will have a problem with that. It sort of gives them the ability to. I don't know if you know any of them.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah,
They'll.
they wanted to have me on. Nughugger does a Battle the Buds, and
Yeah.
since it sounded
It's
kind of
an
like
ethical.
Battle Buds,
Yeah.
or Battles Budz, it seemed like he thought at first when he heard it. He thought at first when he heard it that I was doing something of similar, like a championship thing,
Right.
face off, play off on words, and then when he realized no, it was like its own thing, he was like, oh, cool, I want to have him on and like put him up against some other growers and see where
Yeah.
he stands, and they said it was a cool little competition like thing where they will rip on you if your stuff sucks, and they will tout it if it's really good.
Well, that's what I got here.
And I was like,
Look at that.
cool.
You just like led me into something. Here's my
Yeah, check 'em
report
out.
card. So let's talk.
Oh,
about
you got your dude, let's check it
my
out.
report
Come on.
card, and
We're
that's
smoking
why I
this.
brought up the Bud Rot, and if people actually know what Bud Rot is, because
Uh-oh.
some of these people were actually able to take this shit home, and I think that one of them, calling you out, I don't know who it is, one of them said that there was Bud Rot, and the other one said another judge said there was Bud Rot. So
In
I
what?
think open up one of those fucking buds. There's no Bud Rot in those fucking buds, dude. There was only fucking like
2 out of how
6
many
plant-
people?
No.
like this many.
Okay, so that just means that
They didn't know.
let's just think logistically, they probably just stored it wrong.
Right.
And no offense, it's not anybody's fault. Things can happen. The environment may not be what you think it is. Maybe it got hotter or colder while you slept, whatever. You don't have a
And these are
built-in
the same
pack.
varieties, right?
Yeah,
That
there's
you-
only one. Yeah, all of them the same. There's only one.
They also smell for 12 hours.
Well, okay. Anywho, this
Because if
one,
it's the same batch, they would
39
all-
out of 50. It said that I'm gonna that big jar in the end. I want you to take that home.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that was
then
like-
I'm gonna give you some fucking some straight beef out in the corner over there if she doesn't mind.
I don't know if you can see that.
But
Okay.
so they say describe the smell: cheese and zest, nice and fresh.
Is
Is
That's
this one
pretty
cheese
cool.
and zest?
No, it's a White Widow Durban Poison. It's an auto from Dank Seeds. Cheese and that's what the smell was, and then a little harsh on the exhale. So, okay. Described the taste. Did not transfer to the nose. Okay, there's that one. 39 out of 50. This one, other judge found mold. Dick. This one.
It smells like lemon.
This one said mold present one. That's it. Those are the 2 molds, so now we're all smooth sailing. Describe the smell: sweet and fruity, full body relaxation, mind quiet and focused. I'm putting bitches in the fucking sheets. Describe the taste: sweet fruity like pineapple, pina colada. 38 out of 50. The smell: Jack, earthy, faint sweet notes. Feeling is heady, uplifting, and spacey. Taste is Jackie and earthy, and then they
Jackie.
guessed the strain.
Ooh.
Nobody else guessed the strain. Losers.
Losers.
They said it was Jack Hare. They're wrong. It wasn't.
Hmm.
This one didn't give me any details. It just said 32.
But the Durban, I
They
think,
said
is
I've been
related,
smoking for
isn't
too
it?
long.
Dick.
Isn't Durban related to something like Jack Hare?
39. Described the smell: pleasant. The feeling was a head rush, and described it full.
Cool.
44 and a half. This is the big one. Earthy and sweet. Made me mellow and happy. And it was a sweet, light, and smooth. And then this one was 25. Pleasant when you break it up. Sweet and fruity. Found some hair in the sample. I feel like if there's not fucking hair in any
Did you love
sample-
it enough? Wasn't you
found
pouring your soul
a white
into that?
hair in the sample because there's a cat in the house.
Yeah.
There's a cat in the house.
Yep.
It's a home grower. I don't
Yeah.
have a fucking license.
HEPA filtered
Right,
facility.
yeah. It's a fucking white cat. It stopped the mice.
This is a closet
What,
grow.
pest mitigator?
Yeah,
Yep.
right. It eats bugs. Took one small hit to judge.
What?
THG. Who is that?
What does THG mean?
I think that might be their calling card.
Took one
I need
hit.
to talk to you. Room for improvement or what's on there.
That's what it says?
Yeah. But it's okay. I take constructive criticism.
Of course. Yeah, that's what we
So
did that
there's
for.
the grade. So like those, see that?
But they're being pretty brutally, I guess maybe brutally honest, but
Yeah,
like
well, still,
dickish, I guess. I don't know. Like I
I
don't know
have
people.
feedback.
How did two of them get mold? Are they friends?
Well, that's
Were they
what
just like
that's
DC
all I
mold, bro?
thought.
I saw
That's all I
mold.
thought. How does the other person know that the other one had it? Because I
They're all sitting around,
watched a lot
smoking.
of flower judging.
Right.
Because I was covering rosin judging.
course.
So rosin judging, and my shit was there the whole day, and no one there said anything. So it had to have been someone who took
Right.
something home, which is fine.
Right.
But they're obviously buddies, and I don't think that one person knew. Because I saw videos of people who were DQ'd. This is gonna go out while I talk.
Right.
Were DQ'd, and then like they were breaking it up with perfect lighting, and it was like there was fucking problems, there's no fucking way you could open up all of them.
Isn't that
When you
isn't
go
that
home,
just
check
keef?
it
Isn't
it before you smoke it. Well, I don't know, maybe if there was a fan, I don't know, I didn't see a fan.
No,
but
like if you
It
over
floated.
dry,
It went-
if you over dry like bud, like
It was
don't
up,
y'all
though.
get like a cloud of like that's how you know it's a good hash plant to me. Like it's very keefy. Like Mac 1 for example is like whenever you dry it, you can almost just dry sift it just straight out of like fresh.
He's probably saying that when it's
I don't know
like,
what you're
when it's,
describing,
like,
Oh
but
no,
Or-
I don't
or
know
when
the
it's
video.
pouring
Yeah,
like
it just
that,
looked like it was just they broke it
floats
up and it just went
uppy versus if it's
Huh.
like a spore, like she said.
Oh,
right
shit.
versus if it's like keefy, it's a little bit heavier, so it doesn't
Right.
rise as much. It goes
Right.
from like the
But there
outside
is no
down.
goddamn way when you take that home and you crack it up. Is that the one with the big bud?
yeah, that's a big bud in there.
Yeah, that's the one.
I used a big bud like that in my. You see it on a big sticker. That's as big as that one, dude.
And in here, there's some things in here too that you got your own joints.
I know we had brought a few of them with us because that's what I primarily smoke is flower. That's
I
all day or day.
That's why I was all right. Me and him rolled these. Did you roll all your joints by hand? Pack them all by hand.
Yeah, I use a machine.
I tried.
Well, I use a butt box, a bump buddy box. It allows you to roll like 34 at once.
I feel like
But you gotta really
But I
good.
feel like it's
Yeah,
not
I
worth
crush
it.
fucking papers.
Yeah, but
I'd
you
be
gotta
going
be,
in there like,
yeah, you gotta be very
Right.
careful.
You gotta be very careful, but I feel like it takes way more time and effort than it's actually worth.
I don't know. I'd have to time it because
I've made my own supplements, and I have like a supplement spreader tray for like the pills, and that works. That concept works with it, but I feel like just dropping, I can't do it. So we sat here and we packed
so
200.
what kind of grinder are you using?
a coffee grinder.
So get you a Walk It grinder.
Well, what's a walker? Because I get it like super. Like,
How about
it's like liquid.
It's like
No,
a
no. This is a.
No, it's
I got this as a gift at a party with if you know the legend or the Legends of
Zelda?
Legacy panel. It was held in Niagara. They had all these old school legacy guys from California, Soil King,
Emerald Cup guy.
the creator of the Emerald Cup, Tim Blake, Swami, Jack Herrera's son, I forget his name, I think it was like Dave Herrera, I don't know. And then they had all this panel of, and they had like some Positive Nelson something, and he was like some government dude from like another country that was like Jamaica or something that's trying to bring weed there. Or some other country like that.
He was like
And-
an advocate.
Yeah, advocate for it. And they had all the panel, and they were just teaching us like so much. And then they had at the same time at Niagara, they had the first ever chef cannabis culinary competition that was certified by the Culinary Association of America, and they incorporated desserts and dishes and everything into cannabis. And while I was at an after party at Soul King's house,
You want to
someone.
after parties?
Yeah, dude, I follow all the people around. I talk, and then like people recognize
the
that
after
I'm not like. They first look at me, and this is what happens. They look at me, and they see a young guy, and I at some point in the conversation let loose that I was in the military. That gets you a little bit of respect earned back, and then they say, okay, let me pay attention to what you're saying a little bit, and then I think I experienced it when I was at this after party. What was the other guy? I'm leaving him out. Now I'm gonna have to mention him. He's a veteran. He does Humboldt Seed Co.
I know who they are.
What's his
Humboldt
name?
Seed Co. I don't
Yeah,
know the
so I
names.
met him. He's the owner of that. He's a
Beard
veteran.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They just had some
Aaron?
fucking shit.
No,
go
it wasn't
down with
Aaron.
them.
It was.
What?
They did like a nothing like insane.
No.
But like they did an untested genetic out to people, and didn't tell them it was like untested or didn't disclose it or whatnot.
Right,
So
because
people
they're a
thought,
seed company. Right.
Yeah, so people thought they were getting like legitimate things, and it was like a growing show. So they like sort of set themselves up for failure because people were reporting back. Like you said, this was gonna be
Like this.
like we're wasting this time to just report back like all the who can grow it the best.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like a big thing. I remember that basement grow show guy.
When they
and a
were like
bunch of people
harvesting
were on-
people's like pictures to get the best grow picture to
Everybody-
like,
yeah, like
then
that
to
type of thing.
advertise.
Yeah, but
Well,
like
that's not
they
illegal.
all
Come on, that's what the whole
hermed
point.
out, like
Oh, it
everybody's
turned out
did,
stuff
like
and bad.
everyone's
Well, they
did.
were trying it out, maybe. You know,
Well, that's
like
what
But I feel like
they're
at that
testing
time,
the genetic.
At least
That's the whole
let
point
them
of it.
know that it's a test seed.
They
just
didn't know.
like
They didn't. That's
other-
what they didn't
I
say.
guess they didn't disclose
They didn't
that.
say it was a
Yeah,
test.
yeah.
Right,
So, I
because I,
mean,
know
like-
other sites will do that. They'll say specifically that it's a test seed. They'll even sometimes give it as a
I've
seed.
never,
I get a bunch of
I've
test
never
seeds.
had problems with
But
them. Yeah, but I've always had people tell me that they're test seeds, or I tell whoever. That
At the
they're
very
seeds.
least,
I
it's
figure
got
if I'm not
asterisks
paying
on
for it, like you just gotta assume
He's a
it's
knowledgeable
test seed.
breeder. He's a really solid dude. He didn't. I mean, but like they looked at him and they saw me talking to everybody and just trying to follow where the old school knowledge was. I wanted to just, and at the same time people talk, so I talk too.
Right.
And I'm a natural like talkative person, and so like as I'm still seeing it like 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm still hanging out with everybody. All the posers or whatever have gone home, all the like hangers-ons have gone home, and then it's just like all the old school heads. I'm hanging out. I'm like, oh, have I overstayed my welcome? And then like I get looked at like they get looked at, is this guy legit? And he started asking me questions about the military, and then like he's like, oh, okay, and he looked at the other guy and he gave him a nod, and I was like, okay, I passed the check, and I was like, so at least he knew I'm like not bullshitting. And then so like I hung out with them all night, and they were super cool, and yeah, they're a really fun group of guys. I forgot why I brought this up, but yeah, they.
Because you're just telling us how you're a overall pretty cool dude.
No, I was
Well,
just.
no, it's because you were talking about how we were all hanging out with the seed genetics guy.
Right.
And it was we were trying to remember his name.
Yes,
That's what it came.
because
from.
he was the Humboldt Sea guy, and
Yeah.
um.
He was really nice. We met
Yeah, super
him
cool.
and his wife.
So I think that you so let me. Can't look at my schedule because I'm recording my face with it. It's like
Sorry,
2
I keep
weeks.
talking.
Might not be 2 weeks. It might actually be next week. But I would do Zoom. I could send you the link. All you need to do is fucking have the phone in front of your face. If you wanted, because I'm gonna provide feedback about some of these things. I'm gonna, ask them if they had like second chance type things.
And I'll tell you, I get my stuff on Friday. I'll get my results on Friday if I get some crazy like
Yeah.
mold.
You were in
within-
it?
Yeah, I put
Oh.
2 strains in.
You didn't know the
cultivars
number?
in. I put 2 cultivars. I put black opal crossed with Z Kittles and garlic cookie. That's this one. So
Yeah.
So-
No, that'd be nice. That'd
Yeah.
be cool, dude. Share that fucking shit.
Yeah, on Friday we gotta go to.
good or bad, I'll put it out there. Whatever they
Hey,
say.
fuck it. Hey.
Yeah.
I'll
Go to
ridicule
Buckets of
anybody.
Fun.
I'll fucking go right on there and be like, oh, fuck. I
Dude, you
think
still got like
you're
40
right.
something out of like 50.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
pretty
there's
cool.
like a 25 in there.
Mm.
So, whatever. You can't make everybody happy. It's
No.
50%. I mean, back when I was in high school, didn't bring your average
Does the
down.
mold people give you a score still?
No, it's
They just
DQ.
DQ.
Yeah,
But I
automatic
asked, and they're like, no, you
disqualification.
didn't get DQ'd. So it's like,
And then I know somewhere in there they probably had to find a seed and something.
well,
for
the
me.
seed's not. It's just like minus 5
Minus
points.
0.5 points?
Yeah,
Okay,
or something
cool.
like that.
'Cause I know, like-
I'd want the seed back. Like,
Because
you
I had a
take
couple
5
plants
points,
that
but just
popped
let me
and I
get the
caught them
seed.
late. And I was like, oh no, I didn't get this one. It was hiding,
Right.
you know.
Well, 'cause
and
I
then,
feel like originally they did say originally in the rules that it would be a DQ, but then they
No,
realized
no,
with
that
the
says points.
home
It always said
No,
points.
yeah, it was always
Did
points.
it? Was
Yeah.
there a different
yeah.
competition
I
then?
don't know. I've been done like competition after competition.
We've
just
done
to,
two.
I want to see, besides just giving out your weed. Whenever
Was
you
it
give
on
out
a
your weed,
native land?
No.
So how'd that go? Like how'd it go?
I don't know. I put in my vapes for a competition and didn't win. So I don't know. I don't know. It's like but like same thing. They didn't get no feedback. It wasn't as cool
But
as
no,
this
like
one.
I mean,
you
like,
know?
with the legality type thing of were you vending?
No,
there?
I
Was
wasn't
anybody vending there? That
Well,
like,
there was people vending there, but
okay.
like
There-
this
was
was.
it as big? Was it bigger? Bigger?
Yeah, it was pretty big. It was
It was like a
the size of a giant flea market, like full on. Like
But I mean,
if this
all
was
you
a
really
rave
have to do
club
is rent
or
out the space, label it as 21 older, have somebody check
It's just
your
an event.
IDs, which they did, and
Each
have
individ-
it
vendors. Responsible for whatever they're doing at their own table.
as a private adult event.
And
That's it.
I donated my the can
Yeah.
like the murder allows you to donate up to whatever like 3 ounces to people. They only
Right.
required an ounce per cultivar, so I could legally per day even I guess give them 3 ounces of like my own homegrown stuff grown under my medical program. So it's like there is I'm not worried about any legalities for that because it's like I'm trying to get like legitimate feedback on my product. That's why I donated my product to Roaring 420s because they provide lab results and they give out to my product to their members for free and their members can give reviews and stuff on it. Anybody can. You can just get any person if you go with him with like 2 or 3 ounces or whatever his limit is, and he will take it. He'll work out a deal with you, and he's like, "Hey, are you growing this regularly? Maybe if after you like, I'll I can develop a relationship, and I'll put your thing on the menu, and maybe you can just be a silent like you don't get anything out of it, but like maybe you get to like." You grow your max 6 plants mature, and it's more than what you actually would need as a one person household, and so you want to just share that with the community and give that back to them in a legal way.
Well, it also
that provides
as
that.
well shows them like, hey, if you were to ever get your licensure,
Mhm.
everything is that the word? Is that a word?
Licensure, yeah.
Something?
Either or, I think.
Fucking fancy. They would be like, okay, he's legit. We've had it. It's good stuff. Let's go with him.
You've already set a standard for your product.
Right.
And it gets
for
brand
sure.
recognition out there early, so you can like maybe develop some kind of rapport with people. Say, hey, I've seen your stuff around in other cities. Like maybe you've done that at a couple places. I go to a place and just give out samples. I do vending and just give out samples of my candy all day, and then like give out a pamphlet. Say, hey, I'd love if you hit me back up and tell me how you liked it. I gave some of my candy to a lot of people that like. I don't know, it'd be cool to say, but I give them, I give a lot of people like samples for free, as like the Myrtle says you can, and just to get legitimate feedback on it, and I think that's allows for it. There has to be some kind of R&D, especially when people like you disclose that, hey, I make these, they're homemade. Would you like one? Okay, what dose is it? 10 milligrams per the law as I'm trying to be. Okay, all right, I'll try it. All these are really good. Tell me how you like them in a couple hours. They come back. These were great. I loved them. Perfect. RSO,
Right.
and that's RSO is full spectrum. So you get that. Sorry, I'm not trying to keep going.
No,
My bad.
I'm about to
Yeah.
let you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking pass out in this chair.
He said I need a nap.
So no, thank you for driving here.
Thank you for
Enjoy
having me.
that. Let me know.
I will.
Yes.
I think it's good. So, and I'll let you know the exact date if you wanted to join up on a Zoom.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.